Hi, welcome to NUITEQ Snowflake's latest webinar series. Tonight we have Danielle Macklin, as always, and she'll be discussing, maybe I'll be able to learn to speak today, increasing creativity and learning, how to use audio, video, and text to spur creativity. So I'm going to leave stage. Welcome, Danielle. Danielle, thank you for sharing with us this evening. As always, if you have any questions, please put the questions in the questions box, and I will interrupt Danielle to ask the questions as we go along. Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, Jack. Hi, everyone. So we are going to spend time today talking about how to use audio, video, and text in Snowflake lesson activities to help spur creativity in your students. And I'm going to start by sharing with you an example of how to use a cards lesson template and incorporate various audio, video, and text. So I started by creating just a simple 3-round example. And as you can see, I have some information already on my card. And we're going to go through and talk a little bit about how to add sound effects, including recorded audio, as well as how to add video. And I'll share some resources of where you can find really great short little video segments, and then how to use text in a way that'll encourage students to be creative. In creating this lesson activity, and when I was thinking about how this webinar would flow, I really tried to think of how we could use the Snowflake lesson activities in a kind of non-traditional way. So using them kind of with that idea of, thinking outside the box, even though these are actual boxes, but kind of trying to think of just different ways of using the templates for lesson instruction and delivery. So for this one, we can see each card has an example on it, and I'm going to play so you can see from the perspective of a student if you were doing this in your classroom on your interactive panel, or if you were doing a screen share as part of remote instruction, or even if you had sent this lesson activity to your students on their Snowflake.live classes to complete on their own device. So on our first card, one of the options that we have is the ability to add in audio. And with many of our lesson activity templates, you can add MP3 files, or you can record audio. This particular one has audio recorded on the back. So students would look at the instructions saying, flip over the card to listen. And I'll give it a few seconds to listen through. The beginning's a little staticky, but it'll make sense why as you listen to the audio. The instructions were, what is this about?
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
So for that particular card, that had a little audio recording from the moon landing. So this could be used in a way to have students start thinking critically about what they're listening to. If you were a music teacher, you could incorporate audio of maybe different artists or of different notes or different instruments, and students could listen to and try and figure out what that audio might be. Another example is incorporating video. So as we can see here on my card, I have a nice little Halloween themed, it's my favorite holiday, of our little bat flying. This video could then be enlarged so that it would become full screen. So it's right in the lesson itself, embedded in the card activity. And this could be done as part of a spelling exercise. So I have the text flipped over. My students would look at the picture, look at the little video, and then spell the word. And then if I flip back, we can see again this little video. And I'll take you to a website where you can find some of these really great audio recordings and quick little video clips.
So Danielle, we have a question.
Sure.
Are the videos also able to have sound in them?
They are. This particular video does not, but I have created lesson activities where I've uploaded an entire, I think it's like a 3.5 minute MP4 file. And as that video played, there was audio that accompanied it. So yes, the audio is included. This this video just doesn't have it. Right, so that was another example of adding video. And the last part is using text. So, and we'll come back with text too, as far as using text, thinking of it as using text resources. So I'll share with you now some places to find those text resources. So, and if you're interested in this resource, please just let Jack know in the chat or email, and we can get this sent out to you. This is just a really quick overview of some public domain and Creative Commons resources that we use on the NUITEQ content team, and that obviously you as teachers could use to help really elevate the quality of your lessons and get students engaged and help inspire some of that creativity. So the first part are the images, graphics, and videos. We have Pixabay, Fancy Crave, and Pexels. I love Pixabay. This is one of my favorite places to go for a variety of different backgrounds, illustrations, videos, and that is all right here. This is Pixabay. You can search through photos, illustration, vector graphics, and videos, as well as little music clips. So it's a nice little like one-stop shop of a whole bunch of really great resources. It's a lot of stock images. So if I were searching for something for my students, maybe I'll do a simple like school search. I'm pulling up images I can filter through. Let's see all of our different images tagged with school. I can filter photos, graphics, illustrations, videos. I can add specific filters as well here, changing size, even customizing for a particular color. So that's a really great feature for searching for images, especially like the illustrations. So just really good resources to add in those images. Pixabay also has an awesome collection of videos. And since my favorite holiday is just around the corner, I'm going to search Halloween, and I'm going to search for videos. And here we can see that there's the little bat Halloween video that I found. And then there's also lots and lots of other quick looped videos. So these are all really short, but they are really good quality. That's the Dracula one too. So just ways that you could add in some of these videos, these quick little clips. This would be really great to get students to be engaged in the lesson activity because they have that moving animated piece to it. You could use this as part of your first of class activity or bell ringer activity, maybe having students look at the video and then create like a short writing passage about, tell a story based off of what's happening, or talk with your partner about what do you notice. So just fun little things to add in to your lesson activities. The way that I did that, I used this bat video, and I'll use the cat one now. Because who doesn't love a cute little kitty cat? And from Pixabay, it's a simple download. I'm going to shrink the size just a little bit. And now I've downloaded that to my computer. If I go back to my lesson activity, I can add that background by browsing from my computer. And now we can see there's my video. And I'll give it a second. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer to load in, just depending on the size of the video. So hopefully this one won't take too long. If it does, I'll just switch back to the bat one instead. So it's just another way to add a little elevated element of interactivity for your students. Here we go. And I'll skip to that next slide. There we have the bat. And now we have the cat. So I can even change the text for that. I can change my fit. So right now I think I have it at stretch. I'll change it to fill. So this is just another really great way to get students engaged. And again, with all adding the little video clips, they can at any point make it full screen so they can have a bigger view of that video. Other resources that you can use to incorporate audio, video, and text. So this Pixabay, like I said, it's my favorite. But Fancy Crave and Pexels also have really great high quality images and graphics. And then to incorporate sound effects and audio, there is an entire YouTube channel called Royalty Free Music, where you can download pretty lengthy songs. I think the average is about 3.5 to 4 minutes in length, to add in extra audio. There's also Ben Sound, which is similar, royalty-free music. And then freesound.org is really fun to search for sound effects. So you can add in those sound effects, downloading and saving as MP3 files, and then uploading that audio. And uploading audio is pretty easy to do. You have the sound option or the record option. So if I select sound, I can pull in, depending on where I save, I have this on my computer, I could pull in sound from my computer. Let me see if I have anything. Under my media. So there, we'll add that one. That's just like a cartoony noise. So while that's adding in, and we can see once the X appears, that's your indicator that the sound has been added. So there's my little boinging sound, or I can take that off and I can record in my audio. So I can record up to a minute of audio to be played back to my students when they flip the card, or if this were a different lesson activity, if they were moving the tile from one place to another. In addition to this being a really great way to help your students become more creative, you could also have them record their own audio. So you can send the lesson with instructions of what to do and then have students record the audio back. This would be great for vocabulary review, especially great for your ELL students or ESL students, as well as students who are maybe learning another language in addition to English. Your Spanish teachers, French teachers, I could see using audio recordings to have students practice their words. And it's also really good as a modification and accommodation for students who might need directions or instructions or examples explained to them with audio in addition to the text. So recording is one of the options here. And it records up to 60 seconds of audio. You can play that back. It records up to 60 seconds of audio. And then I can save that, and now that audio will be attached to that card, or if it were another type of, it could be the tile. So that's one place to go for audio. And then lastly, when I was thinking of text, I was thinking not just of text of what you would write in the tiles, write in the boxes, but where you could go to find really great educational texts. And some of the websites that we really strongly recommend are oercommons.org, OpenStax, and CK12. All of these have a variety of really great online textbooks for a variety of subjects. There's also with OER Commons, I'll bring you to that site. OER Commons has a ton of textbooks, but you could also search for worksheets, lesson plans, simulations, activities, anything you could possibly imagine through searching by standard. So if I were looking for a particular math standard, I could just select Common Core State Standards, and I want something for maybe my middle school students. I'll keep everything else open. And now in the search, I can see there are over 1,500 results of just Common Core. And then I can go through and I can add more filters. Maybe I teach 7th grade math, and I can select my learning domain. And then I can filter it even more explicitly into the actual standard itself. So I'm just going to take this one right here, this drawing to scale. So from here, I can select this option. I can view the resource, download, save it. In this case, I will just go to view resource. And depending on the type of resource that it is, this is a web page. It also has the option as downloading as a PDF. I can copy this link and I can attach that link as a web link for my students. So this would be my math worksheet. Or if this is a PDF, I'll do my complete lesson. I can download that PDF. So this would obviously be the teacher's version. You wouldn't want to give your students all of this. But if this were a worksheet for your students, I could then download. That will save to my computer, and then I can upload the PDF. Let's finish downloading. I can attach that PDF now to my lesson activity. So now I've incorporated the text that I want my students to use. And those resources would be available to them if I were to send this lesson activity via the snowflake.live classes or have shared the link with my students. So for my students, as they were completing this lesson activity, they would be able to see those two resources. We have our attached PDF, and then we have that external link. So those two examples, yes.
I'm sorry, we have a question. Are you able to print out the PDFs if you're a student?
Yes, absolutely. So as a student, if I'm looking here, and I can even set it up so that my PDF appears before the lesson activity begins. So I'm going back to my lesson activity info, going to select that PDF to show at the beginning. My students, from their perspective, they can go through it. Now this is 29 pages. I would not recommend sending that much to your students. I would recommend only 1-2 pages, maybe 3, depending on the activity itself. But a student can scroll in and out. They have the ability to print. They also could download that resource. So if this were a text that you were using in your classroom as part of a reading activity, they could download and then have that hard copy available to them on their device. And then after they've gone through, see as they can go through the different pages, they can then play the activity. And if at any point they need to return and see the PDF again, it would be under the little I, the information button, and they can open it right back up. So it would pull the PDF to the last place that they had been. So if they were on, here I am on page 5, I'm going to play. And go back to check it out again. I can see it's going to pull up to wherever I had left off. So this would be really great too if you were setting up your lesson activity to have multiple rounds of information related to a particular set of pages on a PDF. And then same for pulling in those outside web links. So if I were pulling in a web link to a simulation that I wanted my students to do, or to a online resource that we were using, or even to a Google Doc, and I wanted that live document that they had access to, I can incorporate that link in my lesson activity itself. So pretty quick overview. I know I threw a lot at everyone with the amount of resources available and ways to think about using them in different ways, whether it be adding in audio that has been recorded or audio that are MP3 files, as well as adding in those short little videos to the lesson activity. In addition to all of the fun being able to link in a YouTube video right here, where we can add in our full YouTube videos, and then incorporating those outside texts and resources for your students. So at this point, are there any other questions? Anything else that I could clarify or demonstrate?
There was one other question that came in, so I'll actually be able to answer it. It was, if they wanted the resources, how would they email? So you can email me. My name is Jack Reed, and my email is jr@nuitec.com, and we'll be happy to share any of the resources with you. So, thank you very much, Danielle. I appreciate your wonderful presentation this evening.
My pleasure.
And I'm sure as does everyone else that attended. I got a couple of notes as you were going along saying what a great job it was, and they enjoyed seeing the different ways to use the audio and video, that many of them had not realized they could use video like that. So thank you very much. And as always, we will see all of you out there in webinar land next week. So have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you, Deb. Bye.